Hi guys, I'm doing my video summary of the day via YouTube since I'm still blocked from posting video on Facebook. But let's just jump right into this. First of all, I just remembered, I thought of it earlier, but totally forgot about it throughout the day, that it is Labor Day. And we labored, but it also means it's the official last day at Parent Weekend at USAFA. It would be the official last day we spent time with Kylan. We had originally actually planned on staying a few more days after this weekend because I didn't really need to be back here until the 11th. But, you know, things changed. But anyway, hi Kai, love you. Zip, class of 2018. So, moving right into the day. I did try to remember to post pictures today. It's a little harder not being able to go live stream, but here's what happened. I'd mentioned yesterday that a donation came in, and what I did first thing this morning was go ahead and go to the store. Chad and I matched that donation, and we got some supplies to take to our staging area at the church. So we started out with that, and honestly, we had several volunteers come in early. Like when we started, and it's not ridiculously early, but first thing this morning we started at 10, and there was several volunteers there, and we got kind of started, and we were organizing, and then there was nothing. There was kind of a lull, and we were opening at 11, and still at 11, it seemed kind of slow, and some of us started to sort through all the clothes. I mentioned before, we have mountains of clothing that have been donated, and just trying to get it all sorted and organized and folded and where it's easy to find. So we started going through some more of that in a separate room, because at this point where we have it actually out on display is full, but we're just trying to have it ready to kind of rotate in as stuff goes out. And at one point I even went and I told some of the volunteers that were there, I was like, you know, if you guys want to leave, need to go do something, if you can come back and help later, we can let you know. And if you can't, that's okay. Totally understand. Thanks for your help this morning. And honestly, the only people that left once I brought that up was simply because it was a married couple and they have to share a car, and one of them had to go get some stuff done. Everybody else stayed, and boy am I glad, because, and by the way, the woman did come back later and helped, and I'm so glad she did. Today was an incredible day, both of donations and picking up, but we had donations. I'm going to throw some out there that I know, and I know that there's others. Doug Underwood brought us a donation, and thank you, Nikki, again. My awesome friend Nikki is actually the one that set it up. He brought some stuff over, baby items and hygiene items, and some food. So that was cool. Immediately after he left, we got 2 huge trailerfuls from the Cajun Navy. Water blessing buckets that had just a little bit of everything in them. Cleaning supplies, bleach, and bleach was really high on our list. I couldn't find any when I went to the store. I might have mentioned that. So totally stocked up. And in some areas, there are still some that are low. And by the way, by the end of the night, we were really low on food, just non-perishable food. So if anybody's still looking at donating, that's one of the areas. Cleaning supplies, we do have bleach, but the other cleaning supplies, again, it's what's really, really needed in this area. So that one goes kind of quickly. We did get some pet food in, and like gloves for people that are cleaning, and the mask. So Cajun Navy brought quite a bit of stuff. Like, thank you so much, Cajun Navy. And they've done so much else, so much more in this community since this whole thing started. So they rock, our neighbors to the east. We had a group called Citizens Assisting Citizens, who themselves said hardly anybody's ever heard of them, but this is what they do. They just come out, find people who are working directly with the community, not large organizations, just people that they see are connecting and getting done what needs to be done. I have no idea how they found us, like no idea at all, but they made 2 trips to the church today bringing us supplies, and are coming back tomorrow with cots. By the way, if you know anybody who needs somewhere to sleep, we know a lot of people have had to throw out their beds. Excuse me. So we're going to have some cots at our staging area in Groves. And if you're local, you probably know that going over the bridge from Groves into Bridge City is quite a process. A trip that should take, 7 to 10 minutes from Groves to Bridge City is taking yesterday and today 2 to 3 hours. You also know that yesterday someone jumped off of the bridge, and I just say that because Harvey continues to affect people even though he's gone. And I don't know the details of that, but if it had nothing to do with the situation in this community and nothing at all to do with Harvey, I would be really, really surprised. Either way, prayers to that person's family and everyone else that affects. So between that emergency on the bridge and it being closed to one lane, and I don't even know what other situations, but it is a 2 to 3 hour trip to go over the bridge. So the bridge traffic backs up all the way past my church on the intersection of Highway 73 and 25th. So 2 trucks pulled into our parking lot, and we were waiting to see if maybe it was more donations. It was 2 U-Hauls. And so we ended up going out and talking to them. And they were actually a group that I'm going to go ahead and pull out his card because I feel like I should mention it. But they're a group that was taking help out to Vidor. And they stopped at the church to see if we knew any other way to get to Vidor besides over that bridge. The reason they were going out there is because they have generators. And there are areas in Vidor that are still without power. There are areas of Vidor that are still flooded. Really bad situation out there. And they were taking that and supplies to a hotel in Vidor where people are being housed. It was Joseph Phillips from American Spot Culling. So while we were talking to them, he mentioned that they were just out here helping, volunteering their time and the resources to get that done. And just in conversation, and the fact that the need is so high in Vidor right now, and they were going to a hotel where people had been housed since evacuating their homes with only what was on their backs and whatever they grabbed on their way out. We decided, because we've been so blessed with donations of clothing, to give them clothing. So if you look at the pictures that I posted earlier, you can see the back of one of the U-Hauls where we were just piling a bunch of the clothing in their truck. And as we continue to sort it, they are actually planning on coming back to our church, and if we can give them more, we're going to give them more. And they said, if they get supplies that can't be used over there, then they'll bring them over to our church. So that was really cool, and just another example of how the community is just working together. This guy actually, let me make sure where he's from, because I know it's not just our community. It just says Gulf Region, and you know what? It's not in the area. I don't know what area code is 985, but that's where they're from. So that's not this area. But people helping people is what this has turned into. Okay, tomorrow we're going to do it all over again. I'll go out to the staging area. Donation dollars are gone. And I'll just go out there and continue. We'll kind of reorganize, and at 11 we'll open to the public, and we'll stay open until 6. I do have word of a couple more donations coming in at the end of this week. and also, like I mentioned, the cots coming in the morning, and possibly some other donations. There's also possibly, no, I better keep that one under wraps since it's not for sure yet. I'll let you know later. And just one quick story before I go. This morning while I was at the store buying the supplies, the cashier asked me what all of that stuff was for. And I told him that we were just using it to supply a staging area so people could have somewhere to go to pick up all the stuff. And she told me a story about someone who had come in there yesterday and said that they had found a lady with a 9-month-old baby was outside the hospital that had evacuated, and they had nothing. Hi, Chad wanted to be in the video. Sorry, singing apparently. Sorry, they had nothing. And she had found out that same day from her credit union that her payments have been deferred for a month. There's Chad, just trying to lighten the mood. Her payments had been deferred for a month. And so what she did was come into the store and buy almost $200 worth of baby supplies. And the cashier said, she told her that was a really nice thing to do. And she said, honey, my house is dry. I have a job. I have a car. And the bank just is putting off my payments for another month. This is the least I can do. So really awesome example of the incredible people that are here and everywhere. Like I keep saying, the worst of times brings out the best in people, and we're thankful for that. So once again, thank you all for all your help, all of you who have sent in donations. Thank you for following and just seeing what's going on here in Southeast Texas. It is like the worst thing ever, and in a lot of ways it's been the best thing. And I don't mean to make light of anybody's situation. I know that losing your home is, I don't know firsthand. I can imagine that losing your home is heartbreaking. Losing stuff that is important to you, memories and pictures, and just there's some things that are really difficult to lose and really painful to lose, and so that sucks. I'm not trying to make light of it, but the reason I say it's a good thing is just because of everything that's come of it. I've seen more compassion and kindness in the last few days than in a long time prior. So thank you guys for riding along and for helping, and I'm going to give a special shout out today to my classmate Pinky, because she grew up in this area. And you know what? I don't know if she grew up in this area, but I know she was here in this area because I went to school with her. I just don't remember for how long. But anyway, she is from this area, but doesn't live here anymore. And I think she keeps up with the news more than I do. But she has done so much on her just via Facebook, not just sharing what we're doing, but other people and other organizations, and just trying to keep people up to date on what they can do to help, and or where they need to go for help. I mean, she's just tracking it all and doing a fabulous job at it. I mean, she shares the heck out of the stuff, and I know it's not just my stuff, but of course I see my stuff, but then I see her post about so many other things, and she even sends me information that I haven't seen because I don't really have time to just watch what's going on Facebook, but it's been helpful, and I'm sure that it hasn't just helped me, it's helped others. So thank you, Pinky, and that's it for now. Thank you guys. Doing it all over again tomorrow. Be blessed.